Tonight on Newswatch, a longtime politician in West Virginia announces he won't run again in 2024.
Plus, after 6 months on strike, actors agree to a deal with Hollywood studios.
And in sports, Ohio men's basketball makes its regular season debut. Newswatch starts right now.
Good evening, I'm Silver Barker.
And I'm Jack Green. Welcome to Newswatch.
The only Democratic senator for West Virginia, Joe Manchin, announces he will not seek re-election in 2024, giving Republicans the prime opportunity to pick up a seat in the heavily GOP state. 75-year-old Manchin made the decision this afternoon, saying, quote, after months of deliberation and long conversations with his family.
I've made one of the toughest decisions of my life and decided that I will not be running for re-election to the United States Senate. But what I will be doing is traveling the country and speaking out to see if there is an interest in creating a movement to mobilize the middle and bring Americans together.
His decision to retire severely hinders Democratic hopes of holding on to the coal country seat. The last few years, Manchin has been the only Democrat elected to a statewide office in West Virginia. Even before today's announcement, some Republicans are already challenging for the seat, including GOP Rep. Alex Mooney and State Attorney General Patrick Morrisey, who lost to Manchin in 2018. In Ohio, a top jurist is suing the state over a recent law requiring judges to run under party affiliation. Ohio Supreme Court Justice Jennifer Brunner wants to change the law requiring judges and candidates to put a party label next to their name on the ballot. The lawsuit also wants to change a rule that requires justices to retire from the bench before running for a non-judicial office. Brunner was elected in 2020 and ran for Chief Justice unsuccessfully in 2022. That was the first election requiring judges have a party label. Brunner says she was denied her constitutional rights to speech and due process because of the partisan label. The lawsuit signals Brunner may be eyeing another office in 2026 when Ohio is set to elect a new governor.
Ironton voters will have another chance to decide who they think should be their next mayor. Ironton Mayor Sam Cramblett got the most votes in his fight for re-election Tuesday night, but he fell short of the 40% needed to win outright. Cramblett got 35% of the voters will challenger. Amanda Clearly got 31%. That means they'll have a runoff election in 2 weeks. On your screen, you can find times and polls in Ironton will be open. Local first responders are receiving an upgrade to their training. A new live burn building is now open in St. Clairsville. The facility at Belmont College will train students in the EMS program with live fire training for fires, flammable gas, and flammable liquids. Local fire departments will also have access to the facility. Before, local departments had to travel to Washington, Pennsylvania to get this kind of training. The structure is made up of 5 redesigned Connex boxes with 2 burn rooms in the 3-story building, giving the ability to change configuration for different scenarios.
The U.S. Capitol Christmas tree made a stop in Wheeling today on its way to D.C. for the holidays. The public welcomed the tree at Wheeling Park's White Palace from 11 to 1. Attendees had the chance to sign banners on the truck transporting the tree. The 63-foot tall Norway spruce was harvested from West Virginia's Monongahela National Forest.
Good evening, everybody. It was a nice day in Athens. We had some clouds early today, but we saw things clear out pretty quickly, and they're still just that clear right now with 47-degree temperatures. We're going to cool off a little bit. We saw some really warm temperatures earlier, and I know we had that warm temperatures and then a quick drop off into the cold rain we saw this morning. Things have been really different. That sort of happens when we get to the autumn part of the year, but I'll go over that and why we're seeing such a steep change a little bit more in my full forecast later on. But right now, 47 degrees. We saw a high of 63 degrees today under partly sunny skies as that little weak cold front that brought the morning rain began to move out of the region really slowly. You can see that right here. We have that little line of rain showers. If you blink, you'll miss it. That was what made its way through the region. Tonight, we're expecting a low of 43 degrees. and clear skies. We'll get a few clouds as the morning progresses, but through at least this part of the night, we're expecting clear skies. And a 5:20 p.m. sunset happened forever ago, and sunrise at 7:04 a.m. And here's the United States, the general weather pattern going on right now. That little system that was affecting us has sort of pushed its way out of the region. Very, very weak cold front. And then here's our trouble system that's going to potentially be more of a weather maker here in the next coming days. Is this big area? This is going to be a strong cold front that is sort of causing some rain down in the southern part of the United States, causing it to be a little unseasonably cold for those people. You know, it is November and we're a little bit used to colder temperatures, but I know those folks aren't. I'll talk about that a little bit more later. We'll take you back to the desk.
Thanks, Cam. Actors in Hollywood have come to a tentative deal with major film and television studios, bringing an end to the 118-day strike. The actors walked off the set July 14th with numerous complaints toward the Hollywood, including the use of artificial intelligence. A tentative deal is reached between actors and major film and television studios. The SAG-AFTRA strike ended at noon today, according to the union officials.
A lot of improvements on wage negotiations. One of the things that actors have been pushing for is to ensure that they are going to get paid out on streaming residuals.
The deal still needs to be ratified before it becomes official.
Coming up, are you running a turkey trot? Ohio doctors offer some tips to stay safe while training for holiday races.
Coming up in sports, the Ohio Bobcats play in their first game of the regular season.
And in a very Ohio-like fashion, we've had everything from 70-degree temperatures to freezing cold. What will we decide on? I'll tell you more on my full weather forecast after the break.
I was calling to ask for some advice about having a word with Rose, about addressing needs, desires.
I can't go back to how it was before.
It was a moment of madness.
It's the sanest thing I've ever done.
You have tried to do what is best for your friend, but now you must trust me.
Stay away from my wife. Are you threatening me? Are you planning to cut Ainsworth out of this deal?
What do you prefer?
We got other ways we can take over the hotel.
Sunday at 8 on WOUB.
On Masterpiece.
You're fighting for us.
I'm a boy playing soldiers.
We don't help them because we can't. I'm not just gonna leave a baby to bloody die, am I?
You can work for us if you have the courage.
She's a traitor, after all.
What's going on here?
Explain yourselves.
The Nazis have put all of us in an impossible position.
God knows we're all on the brink. We've got to keep a grip for our sanity.
World on Fire on Masterpiece.
Sunday at 9 on WOUB.
Sometimes in life you have those moments in all its glory.
With singing, dancing, magicians. Yeah!
Just what I wanted for Christmas.
We have much to be grateful for.
The platypus have been granted this window into their world.
Can you tell me the truth?
What do you remember?
It's voting season, everyone. Our top 5 candidates have been announced, and we want you to tell us who you want as this year's Gridiron Glory Player of the Year. We are down to the final 2 episodes with only a few teams left, so just like your players, stay locked into our coverage right here on Friday nights at 11:30 p.m. and Saturday mornings at 11:30 a.m. Make sure to stay up to date with all our socials and articles at wub.rsg/gridiron. Because as always, there is nothing better than Friday nights and Gridiron Glory.
Welcome back. I'm Peyton Brooker. Last night, the Ohio men's basketball team welcomed the Troy Trojans in their season opener. The Bobcats came into the Convocation Center with determination on Monday, winning by 18 points in their 88-70 victory. A.J. Brown was the star of the night with 24 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 steals in this winning effort. Just behind him was Elmore James, who added 20 points of his own. And let's not forget Ohio's own A.J. Clayton, who had this insane alley-oop dunk to keep the intensity going for the Bobcats. Head coach Jeff Bowles said after the game, the team took advantage of this energy to get this great team win.
I thought they really got into it. Really, our guys fed off their emotion. And, you know, it was a great team win for 40 minutes. We knew we'd have to play. It'd be a tough physical battle. Coming in, you know, taking care of the basketball is going to be big. You know, getting the free throw line was going to be big. And we did both of those.
The Bobcats' next game will be at the Wilstein Center as they take on Cleveland State on Saturday. The time has almost arrived for the women's soccer team. Tomorrow they are set to take on Michigan State in their first ever NCAA tournament game. The Bobcats earned their way to the big dance after winning the MAC championship from the 6th seed in a close 2-1 victory over the Kent State Golden Flashes. For Ohio's opponent, Michigan State, the Spartans earned their 5 seed after an impressive 12-win season and only losing 1 game in the Big Ten. Ohio comes into the tournament on a 5-game win streak and have only given up 2 goals in total. Head coach Aaron Rodgers says he is very confident going into the first round.
I think they play a good brand of soccer. I think we will do really well against that. I think the way that we play will set up for a good performance from us. So very confident because, you know, we have a great free mentality to play.
The Bobcats will travel to East Lansing tomorrow with kickoff set for 6 p.m. In volleyball, the Bobcats will be on the road for the last 3 games as the stretch begins tomorrow against Central Michigan. The last time the Bobcats lost to the Chippewas was back in 2021. Ohio has been undefeated against Central Michigan since then. Leading the Bobcats this season has been Kaylin O'Farrell, leading the team in kills with 329. Freshman Cam Hunt has also been on a tear, adding 23 kills and 6 aces in her last 2 contests against Eastern Michigan. That game takes place at Mount Pleasant on Friday at 6 p.m. And in Ohio hockey, the Bobcats will travel to Lynchburg, Virginia as they take on the Liberty Flames in a back-to-back series starting tomorrow. The Bobcats are coming off 2 big wins after sweeping Syracuse at home. Noah Holt leads the Bobcats in goals this season with 8, and Luke Reeve leads in assists with 9. The Flames are coming off a 3-game win streak with victories over Stony Brook in 2 games and Delaware in 1. Jacob Klondike leads Liberty going in goals, racking up 9 of them. Pucks drops in Virginia at 7 p.m. tomorrow night. And that's all I have here. Back to you, Jack.
Thanks, Peyton. Looking forward to all of those games. There's turkey trots, reindeer runs, and even a murder mystery 5K. But if you're planning on joining in on any of these fun runs this holiday season, health experts say you need to prepare now to avoid injury later. Mandy Gaither explains why fun runs shouldn't be done on a whim and what you need to do to train for them.
'Tis the season for themed races, but you could trot your way toward an injury if you don't train properly.
Just going literally from the couch to the 5K is not a really good idea.
Orthopedic surgeon Timothy Miller with the Ohio State's Wexner Medical Center says not preparing your body can lead to injuries like muscle strains, tendinitis, IT band syndrome, even stress fractures from overuse.
You put a lot of additional stresses on your body when you do that. And not just on the musculoskeletal system where we think about it mostly, but also on the cardiovascular system as well.
Miller says if you're just starting to run, see a doctor to make sure you're healthy enough to take on long distances. If everything checks out health-wise, he says to start slow, training at least a month out for a 5K, building up mileage gradually. He also suggests varying the terrain.
So running on hard surfaces, for example, all the time, like hard sidewalks, hard pavement, can put a lot of additional stress on your body from what we call ground reaction forces, leading to injuries.
Have proper footwear that's supportive and fits well. Miller says to go up a half or full size in your running shoe to accommodate foot swelling. And he recommends breaking in new shoes before a race.
That means training them for at least a week or 2 to make sure you're comfortable with what their weight they're going to feel on your feet.
Miller advises fueling your body, and even when it's colder outside, hydration is still critical. For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Miller says getting enough vitamin D is also important to bone and soft tissue health. He suggests supplements in the winter when your body isn't getting as much of it from the sun.
And if you are the running type, you had an absolutely gorgeous day to go out and do that. After we had a little bit of morning rain, we saw that weather system right here pass by, really weak, really quick morning rain. Then after that, we gave way to beautiful clear skies like we saw a lot across the eastern part of the United States. Just a beautiful, beautiful fall day out today. And we saw that quick cold front and low pressure system make its way through the region right here. And that's going to be the cause of that. Not a very strong system like I'd mentioned earlier. So we didn't see a very long rain. We didn't see a lot of rain accumulation. And we saw perfect crystal clear skies right afterwards. It's sort of an odd thing that happens in the fall time. And you'll notice a few weeks ago we had temperatures well into the 70s. We even had an alert out for critical fire danger last week due to the high temperatures and low humidity. And that's because in the fall time, typically what will happen is we see the jet streams start to launch a lot more cold air south into the region. Right now, it's sort of the opposite thing going on right now, though, as we had that huge Arctic blast kind of make its way past well past the eastern part of the United States. And now we're a little bit warmer, a little bit of the warm air as it's sort of recovering, readying for the next sort of Arctic blast that's going on. You can kind of see it start to happen right there with the huge temperature gradient. Look at 45 degrees in Minneapolis, just to the south there, 76 degrees in Kansas City. So really strong. There will be more Arctic air coming. It's going to get cold again, but we have a little bit of a break right now, so enjoy it while you can. Tonight, across the nation, we see temperatures dip below freezing in some of the central part of the United States. It is still November, as warm as it is during the day. We got 34 degrees in Kansas City, 37 in Chicago. And over in our region, we're going to see a little bit closer to the low 40s, 43 in Pittsburgh. Clouds are going to start to gather a little bit. We have another one of those really weak cold fronts starting to make its way into the region. That's why we're going to see mostly cloudy skies tonight as another really, really weak system. A little bit of moisture, going to cloud things up. But as for rain, we're definitely not going to see any of it tonight. Definitely not before sunrise at 7:04 a.m. 20% chance of rain, and that's really going to be for a lot of the southern part of our viewing area. A lot of our West Virginia counties might see that rain. Anything to the north of that, certainly Athens, Nelsonville, Logan. Not really going to see a lot of rain tomorrow from this same system. We'll see a high of 55 degrees tomorrow and another quick clearing out of clouds. So if you have plans, especially if they're later in the day, you'll still be able to make those, that's for sure. And then our low temperature is going to dip below freezing for tomorrow. I know that's not going to be exciting. If you still have plants out at this time of the year, make sure those are taken care of. Tomorrow across the nation, very, very similar strategy. A lot of the southern part of the U.S. is going to see that rain from that big system I'd mentioned earlier, but definitely not us. So here's that weak cold front. Here's the rain that's going to start to push its way through the region. We'll have a little bit of a high pressure even develop on the other side of that cold front, which is sort of odd, but this high pressure back here is going to be the main driver of our weather going into the weekend and through next week. And by Saturday, that high pressure takes over almost completely. This weekend, mostly sunny skies on Saturday and Sunday as that high pressure builds into the region. And just look at that. It'll warm up even a little bit for us. Perfectly sunny skies to start out the week on Monday, 58 degrees in temperatures, sitting just around freezing. Then by Tuesday, Wednesday, still hovering around the same temperatures. Then we'll have another low pressure system and a cold front get ready to hit us probably Thursday night as some clouds start to hit the region. But I know I'm going to be excited for next week. We'll take you back to the desk right now.
Thanks, Cam. Next on Newswatch, how the Athens community is coming together to provide free meals for the public. And for the latest from Newswatch, check us out on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube.
You can't tell anyone that I'm talking to you. I could lose my job. Your job? I'd like to know, where's my twin brother? How long? I am sorry. If there's anything you can give me.
I know he's in a band.
I have that smell. Could I come with you?
Tonight at 9 on WOUB.
There is a battle playing out in the southeastern corner of Utah. It's a fight over whose voice gets heard, who decides how this region, now known as Bears Ears, is managed, protected, and preserved.
These resources are too valuable, they're irreplaceable, and once they're gone, they're gone.
Tonight at 10 on WOUB. Saturday at 10 on WOUB.
Hidden deep beneath the Cumberland Mountains in Grundy County, Tennessee, lies one of the world's most magical musical adventures, the Cavern Sessions. 3 million years in the making, Pure Acoustics offer music from the heart of the American experience, center stage and deep inside the mountain. This time welcoming Iron and Wine. It's deep down musical diversity at the Cavern Sessions.
Friday at 11 on WOUB.
Local organizations here in Athens County often plans community meals as a way to help those who struggle with food instability. The Post, Ohio University's independent student-run newspaper, spoke with some of those resources and discovered how they've been able to make these public meals possible. Post reporter Disha Talk joins us to tell us all about these community resources. Thanks for being here, Adisha. First question, why is the Athens community giving out these meals? Is there some type of statistic or something you have about it?
So basically, Athens deals with a lot of food instability. It's the second poorest county in the state right now. And because of the high student population in Athens, there tends to be a lot of issues with students having stable incomes, which leads them to struggle with having like their 3 meals a day.
Okay, and well, which organizations are providing these meals, and like what are their reasons for doing so?
So Cat's Cupboard is a part of Ohio University. They have an office on the top floor of Baker University Center, where they have so many resources for people that might be struggling with food insecurity. They have a list on OU's website on daily meals that are available every week. I interviewed and worked with UCM on North College Street in the Episcopal Church of the Good Shepherd. They offer weekly and monthly meals.
That's awesome. Now you say they offer weekly and monthly meals, correct? Okay, well how long have these communities or these organizations started giving out these meals, community meals?
So UCM actually just celebrated their 30-year anniversary of giving meals out, and the Episcopal Church has been doing it for around 30 years as well. They recently had to downsize from once a week to once a month because of changes with the COVID pandemic. That's what a lot of these organizations are dealing with, is having to shift and adjust their resources after the pandemic.
Do you have any numbers for us about how that shifted, or is there anything like outlook, or as far as what you've observed doing this story, that's showing like how this has impacted Athens?
Yeah, so a lot of the organizations, a big part of their meals was that it offered a social aspect, so people that might be lacking a community or support had a place to come enjoy a hot meal and just be around other people and socialize and connect. Because of COVID, that aspect obviously was a lot harder to achieve. So there were pickup meals available, but as one of my sources said, like that fills the heart and that fills the tummy, but not the heart. And so a lot of them are just working on getting the word out and making sure that people are aware that there's places for them to, come and eat and enjoy others' company.
How do they make people be aware of what they're giving out? I mean, do they put up posters, flyers around? How do they get people to know that they're available and here?
Yeah, so there's flyers up in front of all of the buildings that I think are pretty noticeable. If you're walking on campus, you definitely see them. There's also some social media campaigning, and then also Ohio University, I think, does a good job of broadcasting these sources on their website.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for that, Disha. Now, if you want to read Disha's full story, go to thepostathens.com and take a look under the human interest section. Still ahead, it's not even Thanksgiving yet, and some people are already decorating for the holidays. We ask residents what they think. But first, here's a look at what's coming up tonight on your public television station.
Next time on Antiques Roadshow, Vintage Dallas Hour 1. Grab a drink.
They called it Etruscan Majolica. It's called the shell and seaweed pattern.
Choose a seat.
I didn't know if it was ugly or beautiful, but I thought it was the most fascinating thing I'd ever seen.
And take a swing at how the values of our Texas finds have fared over the last 15 years.
If you could actually pull some of the original early photos out, you could triple the value.
Oh, really?
Easily.
Monday at 8 on WOUB.
This is making me emotional.
On Finding Your Roots, Mario Lopez.
Man, I'm just blessed to be born when I was.
And Melissa Villaseñor.
I'm Basque, baby. I want to shout it from the mountaintops.
Ancestors who crossed the border.
This is not what we think of Mexican immigration.
It's kind of cool.
Leaving family history behind.
You ever think of yourself as an indigenous woman?
I love that.
Finding Your Roots.
Tuesday at 8 on WOUB.
The world's oceans are wondrous, but they can also be a daunting and dangerous place, where young must sometimes fend for themselves, and finding food isn't always easy. Spy in the Ocean concludes with a look at some of the challenges our sea creatures face when things don't always go to plan.
Wednesday at 8 on WOUB.
Hey, it's your old car here. Remember me? Remember us?
You barely even turn me on anymore. It's clear you don't need me, but that's perfectly fine, my friend, because you can choose to give this old car new purpose and donate. Vehicles like me can bring significant funds to public television. So call or donate online. Donating a vehicle is easy, the pickup is free, and your gift is tax deductible.
Woohoo!
A YouGov poll shows just over 60% of Americans decorate for the holidays after Thanksgiving, but 40% decorate before the turkey is even in the oven.
Now, Silver, because of that, I posed the questions to people here in Athens, and let's take a quick look and see what they answered. It's November, and every year a feud breaks out between those who decorate for Christmas before Thanksgiving and those who decorate after. So to help settle the feud while also spreading some Christmas cheer, we've asked residents when they think it's time to celebrate Christmas. All right, Kaylee, so when do you decorate for Christmas, before or after Thanksgiving?
If it was up to me, it would be before Thanksgiving.
After? I say before.
My brother, he's a big stickler, and anytime he sees like any commercials on like TV or just anyone wearing a Christmas hat, he'll get a little upset, and I think it's a little funny, so.
Merry Christmas. How much do you and your family decorate for Christmas?
It's like North Pole when you walk into my house.
A little bit of lights, stuff around the house, put you in the mood.
Sometimes we get a tree like maybe a week before Christmas.
You know, Jack Skeleton, we have one of those, and it's kind of a cutout. We set outside of our house, and it scares a lot of people.
Christmas, there's people around. Baby, please come home. What do you have to say to those people who decorate before Thanksgiving?
Kudos to you for having that Christmas spirit year-round. It's not me, though. I can't do that.
I wish I had your energy and your determination.
Live your life. Like, it's so fun. Love holidays. Honestly, so dreadful. I just cannot picture myself surrounded by these people. I would honestly probably rather pass away.
It's Christmas. Why is it bright? Do you guys have a favorite Christmas song that gets you in the holiday spirit?
All I Want for Christmas. Just classic.
Do you want to give us a little snippet of it?
All I want for Christmas is you. Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town.
Awesome, thanks guys. And you guys said Santa. What do you guys want Santa to bring you guys this year?
Happiness.
Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. All right, that's it.
Now, if you or someone you know has already decorated for the holidays, we would love to see it. So send us a picture at newswatch_WOUB on Instagram or on X. Let's toss it over to Cam for a final look at your weather.
And thank you, Jack. I know if you're looking for a white Christmas, it's a bit too early to tell, but certainly we are going to see some colder temperatures, at least through tonight, with a low of 43 degrees and some clouds beginning to make its way into the area. Not snow, but it will be rain for a lot of the southern portion of our viewing area. So make sure you're in tune with that with sunrise tomorrow morning at 7:04 a.m. Tomorrow we're going to have that weak cold front come through the region. It's going to look a lot like today did, except with no rain, at least not here in Athens. That'll make its way out of the region. Then we'll have some nice clear skies as a high pressure system is going to begin to build behind it, and then be a cause for some beautiful, beautiful weather, at least through the weekend and to start next week. Tomorrow we're expecting a high of 55 degrees and a low of 31 with that 20% chance of rain for the lower part of our viewing area. And then temperatures up into almost the 60s on Monday and beautiful sunny skies. It's going to feel a lot like autumn. I know I'm certainly excited for it before we get another low pressure system that'll spoil our fun by Thursday. But while we have the nice autumn weather, certainly enjoy it. And that's it for your final look at the weather. I know I'm excited for the upcoming week.
Yeah, thanks, Cam. That does it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks for watching. For Peyton Brooker and Cam Cusno, I'm Jack Green.
And I'm Silver Barker. Stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next. And remember, you can find the latest news anytime at WOUB.org or follow us on social media. Have a great night.